There are 5 rules that you can follow every single time that will help you create a man to woman dynamic with your ideal woman, right? And if you just follow these rules, you will remove all your nice guy behaviors, meaning like people pleasing, over complimenting. You will get out of the friend zone and you will really create genuine attraction whenever you have a conversation with the woman. Because if you tap into your masculine polarity, you will naturally ignite the feminine within her. And if she's blocking her feminine with you, then you need to run away, my brother, because you have an unhealthy dynamic.
But the two of them together was a toxic relationship.
A healthy dynamic is man to woman. I don't care what you think of the rest. This is how nature has created us. Men have more masculine, women have more feminine. You accept this to be true, cool, enjoy the dating life that you deserve. If you don't accept this to be true, that's your problem, okay? The first rule that I want you to really put into your head is to express yourself unapologetically. The problem of being a nice guy is that you're not true to yourself. You're hiding your true intentions, right? When you pretend to be her friend, when deep down you don't really want to be her friend, what are you trying to do here? You're not expressing yourself unapologetically. You're hiding who you really are, right? You're hiding your intentions. So when you want to create a man to woman dynamic, you have to stop trying to convey any value. You have to stop hiding and you have to stop showing off. So let's take the first one. In technical game, so you learn this from mystery, from the evolution of pickup, you have to demonstrate higher value. Now I have a problem with this because if you try to demonstrate to her that you have higher value, what you're communicating is that you don't believe you are enough and that you need to show her through whatever thing that you're showing her that you are high value. If you're truly high value, you don't have to show anyone that you are high value. And this is why pickup is so wrong about this. And that's why a lot of people, they join the pickup community, they try to use the technical game and it's not working because deep down they feel inadequate. And even though they use DHV, it's off. For a woman, it feels off, right? Because you don't believe what you're saying. You have to embody these high value traits, aka feeling good enough, so that then you can express yourself from this place, right? So do not try to convey any value, my brother. You don't need. Just forget about this. Express yourself wildly, unapologetically. Whatever you want to say, just fucking express it. And that also means that you stop hiding, right? Don't hide any subject. Every subject that is in your awareness is allowed to be expressed from you. Stop caring about what other people think of you. Stop caring about whether she likes you or not. You clearly seeking her validation when you want her to like you. Remove that, my brother. You don't need this. What you need is to be free within yourself, to express yourself freely. And then if she's interested in you, if she's into you, cool, you're going to have a great dynamic. If she's not into you, that's meant to be. Move on to the next woman that will be into you. Why do you need to create attraction with a woman that is not compatible with you? So stop hiding and don't show off. Women can see when you're trying to show off, my brother. They can see. So remove this game. It's much more attractive to embrace who you really are moment by moment, right? You feel vulnerable? Allow yourself to be vulnerable. You don't have to pretend to be the cool alpha guy in front of her if you don't feel like it, right? You want to be dominant? Cool, express that. Be dominant. You want to be masculine? Cool, be masculine. You want to be a little bit more in your feminine? Cool, allow yourself to do that. This is the interesting thing. Yes, I'm talking about creating a man to woman conversation, which means that you need to be more in your masculine in that sense. But it doesn't mean that you should deny completely your feminine. Your feminine is also accepted. Yes, you have more masculine than feminine, sure, but you still have feminine. So part of the reason why I'm sharing this first rule, which is to express yourself unapologetically, is that in a way you want to forget about all the rules, right? You just do what feels right. You want to tell her that she has amazing boobs? Tell her. You want to talk about your job? Talk about your job. You want to know what's going on in her life? Talk about this. You want to do this? Do that. You want to do this? Okay. Just fucking express yourself unapologetically. Second rule is to honor your sexual desire. This is pretty self-explanatory. You're talking to this attractive woman because you are into her. Why would you hide your sexual desire? For what purpose? Oh yeah, you want to play games because you heard another dating coach telling you that you shouldn't show your sexual desire straight off the bat. Okay, great technique. Go play games then. But then don't blame women for playing games with you. You're the one starting playing games, my brother. You want to play games? Go ahead. But then the woman will play back at you. Because whatever you bring to the table is coming back right at you with women. Women are great mirrors of us, right? They're going to mirror whatever you bring to the table. So if you want to play a game, go ahead. I'd rather not play a game. Every time I met a woman, I was very clear with my sexual intent. It doesn't mean that my sexual intent was clearly with words. Sometimes the sexual intent is just in the way you express yourself, with your body language, with your gaze. But it has to be clear. So you are allowed to give her genuine compliments. What I mean with this is, don't give her a compliment that she has heard thousands of times. Like, oh, you're so beautiful. Bro, she heard this. Don't tell her that. Tell her something that is really specific about her. Something that you really notice about her. You will see that she will receive it much better. Of course, you want to flirt with her and you want to use touch when it feels right. I'm not going to go too much into details with this because this could be the topic of a whole other video, right? And if you're interested in having a video about flirting or how to touch a woman so that she feels aroused, make sure to comment down below so that I know you're interested in that. But basically, when it comes down to honoring your sexual desire, you want to express yourself from your turn on. So there's something that I keep on mentioning in my videos when I talk about sexual tension, when I talk about creating a man-to-woman dynamic. You have to feel aroused when you talk to her. If you don't feel aroused at all, if you're overthinking every step, how can you create any sexual tension? How can you create a man-to-woman dynamic if you're in your head? It's not going to happen. So you have to feel your genitals when you're talking to her. And I know it's a little bit weird to say that, but you'll be surprised that if you become more attuned to your body feelings, you will notice that there are different sensations in your body, different emotions. And then with your awareness, with your focus, you can just move it towards your genitals, right? And if you feel your genitals, you might start feeling some arousal, right? Just because you have your focus there. And you can combine this with like semen retention, and you will see that you're going to feel a lot of sexual energy and you're going to allow yourself to express yourself from the sexual energy. And that's when you generally like express powerful compliments, when you start flirting, when you start touching her. You're not touching her because you heard a dating coach telling you that you should touch her this way, that you should tell her this joke and everything. No. You're expressing yourself from the turn on. This is ultimately what you want to do. And you can start by feeling your genitals when you're talking to her, right? It's a little bit weird. I know if there is a feminist right now watching this video, she's going to want to like tear her hair. She's going to hate me and stuff like that. But this is the truth. Every time I had a conversation with a woman, every time I had a date, I was very aware of my genitals and the sexual energy, because it helped me express myself from this energy. Third rule is to take more risks. Bro, I cannot emphasize this more. Like, a woman wants to feel that you're taking her on an adventure somehow, right? She wants to feel that you are a little bit unpredictable. She wants to feel that you have this wild side about yourself. But this side of yourself cannot come out if you're not taking any risks. So you have to embark on the path of the most resistance. It's very simple. Whatever you're scared of, that's what you need to do. Yesterday, I was um, organizing a group call with my academy clients, and there is one client that is dealing with an issue of like he gets number from women, but then the conversation slowly fades away and it always ends up with a flake. And when I looked at the texting of what was going on, he was basically having the woman interested in him, but the way he was expressing himself was not very direct, not very consistent, and he was holding himself back a lot. And one of the reasons why he was holding himself back is because he had many fears around texting specific things, like calling her out when she's saying some bullshit, or just expressing some boundaries. He had a big problem with that. This is where the path of the most resistance is for him. He needs to express more boundaries with this woman. Now, maybe that's not for you specifically to do this, right? Maybe you need to approach women because that's where the fear is. Maybe you need to express more compliments because you're scared of saying compliments. Maybe you're scared of touching a woman. So that's where the path of the most resistance is. I don't know. It depends on where you are in your journey, right? Fourth rule, eye contact. Relaxed and strong, not just strong. If you look at her like this, she's gonna creep out, brother. When you look at her deep in the eyes, you wanna look at her straight, no thinking, fully connected to your body and fully relaxed, right? And if at any moment she feels a bit of pressure, maybe you can play with it. But then if it's too much pressure for her, don't force the eye contact, okay? You're allowed to move away and then you can come back and then move away and then come, all good. You don't have to keep on looking at her like and make her so uncomfortable because that's forced, right? But if you have a genuine desire to connect with her, the best way to connect with a woman is to look at her in the eyes. We always say the eyes are the door of the soul, right? So when you look at a woman's eye, you can feel her soul in some ways, but you have to do it in a very relaxed way. You can be strong, but relaxed, right? Because if it's just strong, it's forced, and then it's going to backfire on you. And then you're going to be like, oh, Sasha, you told me to look at her deep in the eyes. It didn't work. Well, bro, you have to do it the right way. And last rule is to allow yourself to leave silences during the conversation. This is so crucial. If there are no silences in the conversation, probably one of you is avoiding something. Maybe you're scared of the silences because it's a little bit uncomfortable when there is a silence, right? Having a silence during a conversation with a woman is when the sexual tension will arise, actually. This is so interesting. I remember I was very scared of leaving silences during a conversation. So, I'm not here to say that it's easy to leave silences. You will see that it's a bit weird, a bit uncomfortable if you haven't done that in your life. But if you allow yourself to relax when there is a silence and to not try to convey value, to show off, to just be, to just enjoy the silence, you will see a lot of things can happen from that. There's a story that I always share where I had a date with this Czech woman in Prague, and we arrived at this bar. We started to talk a little bit, and then suddenly I had nothing to say. So I stayed silent. She kept on talking, and then she stopped talking, and then we just looked at each other, and we had this eye gazing in the bar for like 10 minutes, completely silent. I was shocked, she was shocked, but we just enjoyed this like weird dynamic of looking at each other in silence. Now, not every woman will do this, but with this woman, and she was ready, she was into it. So we really just looked at each other like this for 10 minutes, talked a little bit more, again, 10 minutes just looking at each other in the eyes. And she ended up in my place and we had a beautiful night, right? And we didn't talk that much during the date. It was just like pure energetic seduction. We can call it like this. And it was really powerful, and it showed me like silence is just another word. It's part of a sentence. A silence is part of a sentence. It's like another word. It's a silent word. That's it. Thank you for watching, my brother. If you want to have a whole course that teaches the framework to attract one date opportunity every week with your 10 out of 10, you can click on the link down below in the description. This really like the whole framework. There's some internal work, there's some masculinity training, and also like some basic seduction that you can learn that will really help you attract like one number, get one number from your 10 out of 10 every single week. I see you, my brother.